You're watching News Channel 9 at 5 with Calvin Sneed, Latricia Thomas, and Storm Track 9 weather with Chief Meteorologist David Glenn. This is News Channel 9 at 5 in HD.
Dramatic video. What happened just moments before this tree crashes into a Chattanooga home?
Within the last 30 minutes, the National Weather Service confirms an EF1 tornado touched down here in Maury County yesterday afternoon. I'm Stephanie Sanastasi. Coming up, we'll show you the damage it left at the Maury County baseball field.
Plus, fighting for life, what police believe happened to a 7-month-old baby, and who's been arrested in connection to the crime.
We'll get to those stories in just a minute, but first, happening just a few minutes ago, U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions speaks to the news media.
He says he will recuse himself from any current and future investigations into Russian ties to the president's campaign.
Coming up later, we'll hear from national correspondent Scott Thuman and what Sessions said about Russia during his confirmation hearings. Devastating damage, but no injuries during the storms that swept through the area yesterday.
Here's a farmhouse on Missionary Ridge. This photo from Gary Bell. He says that huge tree fell on his house.
Now, dozens of trees came down on power lines, roofs, and cars in one pocket of homes in North Chattanooga. Crews with EPB were out cleaning up after a massive tree fell behind a house on Westwood Court.
And in the alley behind Highland Drive, a tree down in just about every yard. Various tree removal companies were at work all over that neighborhood.
One man who lives on that street says he narrowly escaped death.
News Channel 9's Catherine Marchand has his story.
Trees came down on power lines all across Chattanooga, but here, this tree actually came down into someone's home.
You see my remote on the couch.
Ralph Ganaway was sitting here watching TV. He got up to go to the kitchen, and all of a sudden, the tree in his backyard was in his living room.
Wasn't more than just a few seconds.
It came crashing down where he had just been moments before.
Colleen LaLiberty owns the house next door. She can't believe that some people are calling the storms anticlimactic when her sweet neighbor had such a close call.
Ralph is very lucky. He's very lucky that he wasn't injured.
I got a frantic text from my husband, something along the lines of, "There's a tree on your father's house."
Ralph's daughter Jennifer tells me she was astonished when she saw the damage.
I mean, I was expecting it to be a mess, but I wasn't quite expecting this.
Jennifer grew up in this house.
It's sad, really.
But her dad now lives alone.
The important thing is the people in the home, and he's safe, so.
Ralph is just a couple months away from his 89th birthday.
If I survive this, I'll get on me.
Catherine Marchand, News Channel 9.
Power outages happening where Ganaway lives in North Chattanooga. Also scattered outages in Red Bank, Hickson, and Signal Mountain.
Hailstorms pounded the western side of our viewing area. Insurance companies in Jasper say they've had calls pouring in with insurance claims, mostly to people's cars. Some local shops are going out of their way to see anyone with hail damage, from small dents to more severe damage like that shattered window you saw. James Torres will have that story coming up on News Channel 9 at 5:30.
An hour ago, we received confirmation that a tornado did indeed touch down in Maury County yesterday. That's where News Channel 9's Stephanie Sanastasi is right now. The Maury County High School baseball team is looking for a temporary place to play ball.
Stephanie joins us now to show us what needs to be repaired before the team's next home game. Stephanie.
Calvin, Latricia, from the parking lot where we're standing right now, you can see this fence that was blown down during yesterday's brief EF1 tornado. However, this isn't the only damage done to the baseball facility at Maury County High School. Mangled pieces of metal, flipped over bleachers, and bricks from the stadium scattered throughout the infield of this baseball diamond in Maury County.
It really was. It's amazing to me.
Athletic Director Greg Linder didn't even think this was possible.
First time we've had this happen. I don't know how long it'll take to get the facility back up and running where it's playable again.
But he hopes it's soon. Linder spent his morning measuring bleachers.
You on all the way to the outside?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Assessing the damage and estimating estimating what it'll cost to fix this.
Our baseball team and Booster Club has done a great job keeping up the facility and making a great facility for us to play baseball in. And it's unfortunate for them, especially our baseball players, to be at the start of baseball season here, and we're going to have to figure out other places to practice and play for a little while.
With the next home game just 2 weeks away, Linder wants the players to know.
We're working on it, and we hope to, as quickly as we can, get them back on their own home field. And I know that's what they want, and I know they'll be understanding, but still, you want to get back to where we're playing.
Linder says this baseball field's been around for more than 20 years. He says there is a positive to all of this, though. The baseball players will be able to get some new upgraded equipment. For now, reporting live in Murray County, Stephanie Sanastasi, News Channel 9.
Thanks, Stephanie. And coming up at 6, we'll talk to a meteorologist from the National Weather Service.
We'll show you how they assess the damage and what kind of storm and damage they saw in Murray County.
Well, this round of storms is over, and experts say it was not as bad as it could have been.
However, David Glenn says the temperatures are drastically changing. Let's go to David to see what to expect from our weekend weather forecast.
Well, you saw the power from that cold front where you were very warm, humid yesterday, and the cold air behind it. Of course, a collision of air masses creating the strong storms yesterday. Now we got to brace for colder mornings ahead. Tomorrow morning, temperatures going down to the 30s, above freezing in the city, but many areas away from the city down below freezing. Not a surprise for early March. With so many things blooming, it could be a risk. Now, tomorrow afternoon, it's going to be a cooler day than today, temperatures in the 50s. But then as we approach early Saturday morning, more areas below freezing. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if a lot of areas are down into the 20s. So Saturday being the coldest morning, and again, some of those early blooming plants could be in danger. More on the rest of the weekend and 7-day forecast in a few minutes.
Okay, thanks, David. New tonight, a child is fighting for his life in Ray County.
Deputies have arrested one man for child abuse. News Channel 9's Josh Rowe joined us now with more. Josh.
Well, Tricia Calvin, the man police have in custody, is accused of shaking a 7-month-old baby who was in his care. Jesse Lynn Wyatt was arrested last week. The Ray County Sheriff's Office originally responded to an infant in distress call. That's where they found the child struggling to breathe at a home on Shady Lane last Thursday. The child was rushed to the hospital. Several tests and scans revealed neurological damage to the baby's brain with bleeding, hemorrhages, and other evidence indicating this injury was not due to an accident.
Under Haley's Law, you have to meet certain guidelines as far as the injuries involved, how egregious the injuries are, and the age of the child. So with it being an infant, of course, it qualified because of the age. And with the injuries that we've seen, the trauma that we've seen, it's definitely going to fit under Haley's Law, which would be a Class A felony.
An arrest report says Jesse Lynn Wyatt was the only person at the home when officers arrived. Here is a photo. 7-month-old Maddie, the child's mother, Tiffany Sky, says Maddie is under heavy sedation. Calvin.
Thanks, Josh. Detective Potter says Jesse Lynn Wyatt is charged with aggravated child abuse and aggravated child neglect or endangerment. They're both felonies. He's expected in court on March 14th.
An early morning house fire in Catoosa County is being investigated as arson. Police are now asking for your help to find the person responsible. Insurance and Safety Fire Commissioner Ralph Hudgens says that fire happened just after 4 a.m. on Mark Lane in Ringgold. He said that fire originated in the kitchen. Thankfully, no one was home at the time. Hudgens says a flammable liquid was used to start the fire, and that home is a total loss. If you have any information, call their arson hotline.
Scary moments during an armed robbery in North Georgia. Dalton police, that is, says 2 men robbed a man at gunpoint near Morris Innovative High School back in January. Spokesman Bruce Frazier says one of the suspects pointed a gun at the victim's head, stole a gold chain he was wearing. Yesterday, Frazier said police arrested a 17-year-old suspect. He's charged with being an accessory to the crime. Police say he was not holding the weapon.
Mocs women's team tipped off the Southern Conference basketball tournament this morning in Asheville. UTC took on Western Carolina, but you can't say there was much competition on the court. It was a blowout victory over the Catamounts 85-41. Dave Staley will wrap it all up at 5:45 and tell us when the women will hit the hardwood again.
It is now official. The University of Tennessee introduced its new athletic director about 30 minutes ago. John Currie gave his first formal hello.
John Currie.
And Currie returns to Knoxville after serving as the athletic director at Kansas State. He earned his master's degree at UT and worked in development, marketing, and ticketing in the athletics department. You'll hear from him at 5:45.
Chattanooga mayoral candidate preview.
What David Crockett wants to do for the city and why he thinks his ideas will work better.
Well, the sunshine is back, but you're definitely going to need the heavier coats the next several mornings. Just how cold it'll be in the days ahead. We've already seen a huge difference between yesterday and today. More on the 7-day forecast right through the weekend after the break.